I don't mean to alarm you, but what would happen if you took the Sony 200 to 600 with a 1.4 times teleconverter, put it on the Sony ZV-E10 1.5 times APS-C crop, and then enhanced stabe 1.45 4 times? It's bad things happen, but it's fun.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So it's been a while since we shot on the old Sony. Little love cat. It actually feels good. Feels right. I feel home. We're just in standard profile, and I've upped the dynamic range optimizer to level 5. Huh? Take that, log. So the first shot, I was right in there. I didn't have active stab on yet, and it was hard to stabilize. It was really hard and hard to focus because just pointing it, there's no viewfinder. It was the most painful experience of my life, but I somehow managed to get some shots. I think I'm just gonna stabilize in DaVinci for the rest of the way because there was nightmares happening. It was bad. But here we have a little butterfly, 4K 24p, so it's just regular. I got some HD 120, but he's wiggling. I don't know if that's roller shutter. I said roller shutter. That's fun times, but it was a nightmare. And just, it took me maybe 8 minutes. I was seeing the butterfly and then I'm pointing it. I'm like, I cannot for the life of me get it. Like, he was probably within a couple feet. It was there. I'm like, where is he? I could not line that up without a viewfinder, but eventually I got used to it. Now, in the most ironic moment of my wildlife career, having 1260mm, you're like, I'm ready for anything. You know what I wasn't ready for? A raccoon to walk right up to me. So that's what happened. He was so close, and I'm like, oh my god, there's a raccoon, and I didn't even see that he was injured as hell. This guy just fought a hawk or something. I was like, what the hell happened to him? I feel so bad at seeing this footage. I showed it to my fiance, and she was like, oh my god, we gotta call wildlife rescue. And I was like, how would they find it? That was like 2 hours ago. I'm like, yeah, he was in a forest somewhere. I know he was heading west. But I kept tracking him through the forest. It was just such a weird thing. He was walking up to me. I was kind of nervous because he looked like, I don't know, raccoons are crazy. They have crazy claws. They can rip you apart. So he was coming closer and closer to me. And he looked kind of thirsty or tired. I was like, he looks a little bewildered. I couldn't even see the blood. And I was just like, what's wrong with him? And I was just trying to film him. And then as he was getting so close to me, I said, hey, buddy. And then he looked up at me and then like walked a different direction. I think he was like blind, but I'll tell you, the Sony ZV-E10, it blew me away a little bit. The color science, it looked nice. It was all glowy and the zoom range. And I was like, this is not a bad image. A little sparrow action there. It's like, it's just the stab was so hard to keep anything like 1260mm. My goodness. But once you go into HD 120p, that's where the magic happens. Like, the stab all of a sudden is tolerable, and you're like, okay. And this was like close to golden hour. So I think that's why this looks better than most of my footage. Usually, like, I wake up in the morning and then I go for like an afternoon walk, high noon lighting. It's very harsh. Whereas this, like, I ate dinner and then I just felt good, and I was like, I'm gonna go for a walk, and went for a walk in nature, and I was like, golden hour? Dare we dream this? So I really should do that more often. Go for the walk after dinner. But that's not bad looking HD 120p. Like, it's sharp. If you topazed that, forget about it. That'd be glory hood. I don't even want to try it. It'd be too nice. But like, I'm happy with that. It's just using it, no viewfinder. This tells me that the Sony ZV-E10, absolutely deal breaker. Like, no, I need a wildlife viewfinder. Saw a little blackbird, possible female attempt at being a sparrow, and she was very far away. You have no idea how far away that was. And I was not even zoomed yet. Okay, I guess it wasn't that far away. I have a couple of shots that were like insanely far. Finally, I nailed focus, and she waited for me for a long time. Oh, no, she did not wait at all. Let me tell you, Sony ZV-E10 has animal eye detect. It does not work ever. I had boxes, little box, put a bird in the box, Not once did I see a little thing. I've seen it on Nikon. Finally, I saw it. I had a bird with my 85mm 1.2 and it was like tracking the eye. I was like, okay, cool, it does work. Sony, no. Most of this was manual focus, but it was just hard because you're looking at a screen instead of a sharpest viewfinder you ever see in your life. I saw a little black fish. He was misdirecting me. He's like, oh, no, he thought I was going that way. I live in here. I'm gonna go, no, I'm gonna go this way. I have to pick up some stuff. All right, I'm gonna go, oh. He moved a lot and it was cute, kind of, for a little bit. Your gimmick wore off quick. You should have jumped out of the water and hit a frog. But I was getting the magical moments with the lighting somewhat respectable. Sometimes it was just cloud cover, but we got a robin. He was looking. Everything's in focus. 0 3D separation, but the APS-C ruined my shot. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's robin slow motion running time. It was hard to keep up with him, obviously. I really suck. This is my biggest weakness in life. When things move and trying to keep it in my frame, I'm like, okay, rule of thirds, we're going. Yeah, that kind of worked. That was pretty good. But there was a couple moments where like I overshot it and undershot it. Oh no, they're too fast. Like, what are you doing? There, here we got him, kind of, even though you're in the rule of once in the end of my frame. It works. It works. Sure, you're not in focus, so what? You can't focus on everything. Framing, exposure, and focus with wildlife, that's why I'm in auto most of the time for exposure. And then like autofocus really helps if it works, which it rarely does. And then composing, that's awkward. It's hard because you can't just trust the entire screen to focus on a bird. You have to kind of narrow it down to like something like this. But then what if your bird's out here? It's like, oh no. So like he's in the center of your frame and it's not looking good. So you'd have to joystick your way through life and you're moving this, but okay, now you're in, and then he goes the other way. And then you want him in the opposite side in the box down here. It's hell. And then I saw it. A magical bird. I panicked. I pressed record before I was even in focus because I knew I had one shot at this. And we have a hawk, it's a red-winged blackbird female shaking her booty, calling all the men from the yard, and we have her. Oh, that is a beautiful little shot. And a railing. Oh, lovely girl. And eventually she flew into the night and left me forever. And that was fun. Now this was probably my best shot of the day, even though it's cloudy, it's kind of dark, but it was like the closest detail I got of a bird. We're not in active stabe yet. We're in HD 120. That was kind of silly, but you kind of have to be for the stabe. And it was decent. She was wiggling, she was doing stuff. There could have been a little crack in the clouds, that would have been nice, but I wanted to get a little more detail, so I went into 4K, and it's just so much more irritating to watch when it's not in slow motion. The stabe's bad, it's just jerky looking, it's normal. You've all seen birds move that fast. And then I finally got a somewhat usable shot with active stabe. This is 18-27mm handheld. I was leaning on a railing for some stabe help. And there we have what that looks like. 4K 24p. With the bird, we got the detail. She was very far away, and like we still got some details. So 1800mm prime. I hope someone makes it, cause I'd buy it, that's for sure. Better be light. Tony 1.2. Look at her, she's like singing and flirting and dancing. It was a good moment. It was a good day. Even saw a northern flicker way off. This is with active stabe. That's what I was looking at through my screen. I was like, oh my god, and it was super windy. And I was like, oh, the wind makes it so much worse. It was blowing my lens all over the place. Like there was no hope of getting that stabilized. It was a nightmare. So that's why you have to be in slow-mo. Remove that active stabe, that was dumb, and you'll get some shots. So it was a fun little adventure. Thank you, Steinbeck, for sending the ZV-E10. It's a wonderful little camera. I totally kept it. I have it anywhere. I'll go outside right now and film something. Definitely in the same shirt. Here, look. See, here's me vlogging on the ZV-E10 with the kit lens, and it looks great. And who cares about the crop? That's a 24mm lens. It's digital stave. It's good enough. So what, a little bit of a crop? It's designed for vloggers. It's good. This is good. So, like, you can run across the street if you want. That thing does anything you want it to. It's like one of the best cameras of our time. That's why I kept it. And I love that thing. Just cherish it forever. Can't wait to use it again. I should have just used it for this video. Because I could. Because I have it. So, subscribe for more, I think.